Thank you for watching Living on the Fault Line, a film by Jeff Farber. With me for a few minutes to talk about the subject of the film is Alice Siegriest, the clinical director of Camp for Me, which was featured in the film. A social worker, Alice is also a senior case manager for the Vermont Children's Aid Society. Thank you for joining us, Alice.
It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you.
Now, when did you first become aware of Jeff's film, and what did you think when you saw it completed?
Well, I first heard about it from one of the families that was in the film, Ann Borges and Bill Fink and their 5 children, and was really excited about Jeff spending the time with the family and listening to some of the issues that they have had and concerns as they've been raising their family. And through that, because all 5 of the children are at Camp for Me, Jeff had wanted to come to camp and do some filming, and so we actually included it in terms of sending releases to all the families and all the children at Camp for Me, and out of that, I think a few more families became involved in the film. Sure. So it was really exciting to know that this was happening, to watch the interviews, and then I can't tell you what it was like to finally see the film. It was absolutely amazing, I think, how he was able to bring everything together, a film that really talks about racism and how families experience it. It was frank, it was open, but it was lighthearted, and I think really leads the way for discussions, which we all need to do.
And hope that things like Camp for Me really bring a necessary thing that the kids can place up, the children can go. The film has been described as an exploration of the intersection of family love and racial injustice, which is just kind of an interesting concept. Could you speak to that kind of intersection and how it relates to transracial families?
Well, I think when families are formed, they create a really unique relationship around which the differences in terms of racism exist. And it's probably the only place where people of color and white people are committed to an emotional, long-term relationship, life-lasting, where they are experiencing all of the differences, the racial differences within their own family group. And what often happens is when the children for the first time experience and not really being aware of it, certain racial problems, the families, I think, find it very, very difficult because you don't know if you should react to them or how you should react to them, and how you deal within your own family with all the racial bias that is in our society and around us.
I was really moved at I saw the opening of the film in the fall, about how painful it was for the parents to realize that they're bringing up children in a place that brings pain to them. I mean, we all are pained when our children are in pain, and it was clearly unbearable for some. How do you help these parents? Certainly the children need an enormous amount of support, but also the parents move through this time and recognize even that it's not going to be easy.
Exactly, and I think that the film really shows how very, very difficult it is for parents in terms of helping their children understand what is out there, and also helping prepare them. And I think that there is so much denial in our state that I certainly hope that this film will bring about discussion and give an opportunity. As far as the parents, I think we saw their pain in the film that we just saw. That they don't know how they can help their child when they are experiencing things that they should not be experiencing. I think the more we can talk about it, the more we can kind of support each other, the more we can have safer emotional kind of community happening. So it will be.
Are these issues raised in the film, the stereotyping, the profiling, white privilege, are they more insidious in Vermont, or is this still really happening all over the country?
It really is happening all over the country. I think that we can have a clearer look at it in Vermont. It might stand out more in Vermont, but there is no question that it is happening everywhere. And
as an adoption professional, do you think a film like Living on the Fault Line can help parents ready themselves, adoptive parents or soon-to-be adoptive parents, be more prepared for life with their child and how to bring everything to the fore for their children?
I think it would be helpful for parents in terms of adopting children, but I think it's also very helpful for the community at large. I think what the movie really has done is allowed us all to see what white privilege affects all of us and how it affects all of us, and to be able to see it through the eyes of transracial families and other people in the community, that it really opens up what I hope will be some changes in terms of how we do approach people.
Well, the film certainly makes it clear that people of color are too often treated differently.
Absolutely.
By society, by those of us who are white, and that most whites are really in denial that this is going on. What can happen, certainly in our schools and in our communities, to move the discussion on racism and our denial forward?
I think it has to start with each and every one of us. I think each of us have to be able to look beyond color, to be able to see people for whom they are, to be able to, especially with the children in terms of school, and to be able to get to know who that child is, what that child has to offer. Camp for Me really has provided an environment where everybody feels safe and everybody feels valued, and I think that is the ultimate thing that we are looking for in our communities, to be able to do that, and I mean emotionally safe as well as physically safe.
Camp for Me seems like such a perfect environment. Is there a way to take that into our schools, or to help schools know what you have discovered works there?
I think that it's a very simple model. I think it's something that we all know, but I think what we end up doing is we shortchange our children because of budget constraints. We have classrooms with one teacher and 25 or 30 children. We have children in there with many differences. They can be racial differences. They can be children who were placed when they were a bit older for adoption, or children who have had parents who were substance abusing when they were born, all of which creates a great deal of trauma for children. And children with trauma really experience things much different. And so I think that we need to do a lot more work with families around trauma, attachment issues, around helping children, relating to children, and building those safe environments.
Alice, thank you so much. You can be part of the community dialogue about making our region a more welcoming place for citizens of color by attending one of 3 screenings and discussion events that are coming up. The first is on May 1st at the Twilight Theater in Middlebury at 6:30 p.m. Other events are in St. Johnsbury and White River Junction. They'll be announced on our website at www.vpt.org, where you can also find where you can get copies of the DVD of the film that are also available at www.onthefaultline.com. Thank you so much for both the film and for having this discussion today, Alice Siegriest.